So, I was talking to my Nana not too long ago, and she asked me how my day was going, and I was like, oh, it's not too busy. Hopefully, it won't get busy, knock on wood. And I reached over to my desk, knocked on wood. It's just a habit I've had, like, my entire life. And then a light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, where does this actually come from? Is this another thing that I was taught that I shouldn't actually be doing? Perhaps I should look into it. We're going to be checking out an article that the History Channel did about knocking on wood. In many cultures, it's a common superstition for people to knock their knuckles on a piece of wood to bring themselves good fortune or ward off bad luck. Yet while the phrase knock on wood or touch wood in Britain has been part of the vernacular since at least the 19th century, there seems to be little agreement on how it originated. One common explanation traces the phenomenon to ancient pagan cultures such as the Celtics, who believed that the spirits and gods resided in trees. Knocking on tree trunks may have served to ruse the spirits and call on their protection, but it could have also been a way of showing gratitude for a stroke of good luck. Yet another theory is that people knocked on wood to chase away evil spirits or prevent them from listening in when they boasted about their luck, thereby preventing a reversal of fortune. Christians, meanwhile, have often linked the practice to the wood of the cross for Christ's crucifixion. Other researchers consider knocking on wood a more recent phenomenon. In his book, The Lore of the Playground, British folklorist Steve Roud traces the practice to the 19th century children's game called Tiggy Touchwood, a type of tag in which players were immune from being caught whenever they touched a piece of wood. Okay, so we're all over the place on where this originated. It could have been linked to the practice or summoning of fortune of pagan gods. And I couldn't find any evidence to back up the claim that Christians started doing this. This seems to be yet another pagan ritual that the world has adopted. And as we know from Deuteronomy 12, God wants absolutely nothing to do with pagan practices. Nor does he want his people to engage in them. He says it's an abomination to him when we do that. You guys can take this information how you will, but I'm certainly going to try not to knock on wood moving forward. 1 Peter 1, but as he who called you is holy, you also be holy in all your conduct. Since it is written, you shall be holy, for I am holy. And if you call on him as Father who judges impartially according to each one's deeds, conduct yourselves with fear throughout the time of your exile. We're supposed to be in the world, but not of the world. We are supposed to be a holy, set-apart people different from the rest of the world. And that could mean stopping something as little as knocking on wood.